Change or die. So there's this study done called the Change or Die study, and you can Google it and have a look at sort of the results that are in there. And it's really interesting because there was 2 peer groups in this study, and essentially people were not long off of dying. And if they changed their habits and routines, they would greatly extend the quality and length of their life. So that's with the results that we're going to get. Now, 2 groups. One group went straight back to their old routines and habits within 6 to 9 months. Crazy. Even though they learn all the techniques and they learn everything that they could do in the habits and the routines to change in order to get there, they still went back to their old habits in 6 to 9 months. Crazy. The second group absolutely crushed it. They got 7 times greater results. They lived for longer. Their quality of life was so much better. And there was one difference between both the 2 groups. And the difference was that the second group, the ones that crushed it, had community. And they caught up every single week to talk about how they were going with their habits and their routines. I personally believe that there is a lot of videos and a lot of stuff we see around about habits, but we're still not talking about it enough in order for it to actually implement change in our life. So we can integrate and actually have the habits working for us, not us just thinking, oh, I should do this or I should do that. Instead, it's actually there and we're living and we're seeing that. So how to actually do that would be to join a community or create your own sense of community or accountability group where everyone is actually motivated to catch up weekly and discuss it. I have a community called Set the Standard Community. You can head to getstartedwithcorey.com if you want to see what that's like and a part of the community. We essentially help people that are ready to get to the next level. We kick them through the door and we get them to the next level. So I think that is very interesting. And why do I want to talk about that? Well, we're talking about the 6 habits that I believe are going to be the best for people to implement. They're simple, easy, small habits that you can start implementing literally today. But I would love for you to integrate these, and to do that, you're going to have to talk to someone about it. How do we change over a long period of time? That's consistently talking about what we've got to do, changing our language so that it's on top of our mind. So we're making it conscious and we know what it's about. And then over a period of time, then that becomes unconscious and we don't have to think about it and we're just doing. My habit number 1 recommendation is, if you can do this, because I know some people can't, but that is to train first thing in the morning when you get up. When you go to the gym, it causes a massive stress response on your body and your central nervous system, and it's so healthy and so good for you to do. However, from like 3 p.m. in the afternoon onwards, depending on what time you go to bed, that is going to cause a lot of stress. So depending on what hobbies that you have or gym training that you have, I would strongly encourage and recommend you guys to get those done as early as possible. Brian Tracy's eat that frog first. The biggest, dirtiest, ugliest frog, we're going to eat that thing first thing in the morning. And if you've ever struggled with a routine or struggled with a gym or an exercise plan, doing it first thing is amazing. Now, it's a little bit different. Obviously, if you have to get up at 3 a.m. for work or 4 a.m. for work, and you'd have to get up at 2 a.m. or something, or 3 a.m. to train, then by all means, please try to just finish late, like a little bit early on during the day. Get it done as soon as you finish work. Like whatever that is, you finish work, you go straight to the gym, get that done straight away. Number 2 is a thunderclap moment. And essentially what it is in the present moment is thinking what emotions are being experienced and then relating them to the environment before asking a question. For example, hey man, just let you know that I've been like really stressed out recently about X, Y, Z, and I need like these things done. And honestly, if someone did these for me, like I would be so appreciative of them. It would just take the weight off of my shoulders. If you've got any time, like, would you mind having a look at it? Okay, if you don't, but like, I just really trust you. So I'd be really appreciative if you could do that. Just because if you explain by the emotions, the person's gonna be like, of course I can do that. And if they can't, then they'll be like, hey man, I'm so sorry. Like I just haven't got the ability, but I may know someone who can. Like, oh, thank you so much. And they've just given you a gift and helped you out. And now all of your stress and troubles have just melted away. And if we can ingrain asking for help just once a day, appreciatively in a gratitude way, just once a day of getting used to it, like what am I going to ask for help and support for today? Now, if you come from someone who does not ask for help ever, who self-sacrifice and people please like a mofo forever, who just starts asking for help once a day, over a period of time, that's going to compound like crazy. And the results and the progress is just going to completely shatter your own sense of what you could actually truly achieve. And it's going to be a lot easier to find what you're truly capable of. The next one is one piece of gratitude every single day. And I like this one. Send a text message Send a text message every single morning and link it with another habit, like as soon as you start work, and just send a text message appreciating someone. And then here's the rules. It has to be sincere and it has to be honest. So you actually have to think for a second and appreciate someone. I remember doing this for a period of, I think it was like 100, 150 days in a row, and it completely transformed my life. There are still parts of my life right now, and this was happening like 3 years ago, that are benefiting from that period of time when I appreciated people every single day. This is one of the best habits I've ever ingrained, and whenever I'm feeling a little bit stuck, I add this habit back in. And that's to parents, that's to people who you find resistance against, that's employees, that's bosses, that's whoever it may be. One sincere appreciation message every single day. And it can be the same person if you like. You can do it multiple times to the same person, just sincerely acknowledging them. And when we put ourselves in the other people's shoes, it's like, how often do you get a message that sincerely acknowledges you for who you truly are and what you're inspiring to be? And how often do you get one of those messages? It's not often, right? So imagine if you could give that to someone else. You best believe that that's going to come around and start to fuel you back up as well. Number 4 is, did you know, this is crazy, I heard this from one of my mentors, and essentially humans have evolved with the evolution of food and farming. And if you think about hundreds of years ago, our whole life that we would spend every single day would be around getting food. Even 50, 60 years ago, the common household would be the woman stays at home, the wife stays at home and cooks and cleans all day, and the man goes out and makes an income. Now, if you think about that, she would actually cook and clean all day. Breakfast, a couple of different lunches, dinner, get ready for everyone for the next day, go to the shops or collect from the farm, whatever it is, get the food ready, make it, and then deliver it to everyone so everyone could actually eat and sustain like a healthy life, or somewhat of a healthy life. Crazy, right? And if you think about, thousands of years ago, within the village or the tribes, everyone would just be hunting for food, scavenging for food, farming for food, and I was like, that would take up so much time. And when you think about now with agriculture and farming, it's like we can get food immediately. There's fast food options. We can go to a supermarket which has every single ingredient we could ever need for our life ever. They're just complete abundance, those things. It's crazy. Sometimes I look in there, I'm like, this is actually insane. Just when I try to take a step back and look at it, I'm like, this is amazing. And now we're in a world where we actually have to work so much. Like majority of people working like 2 jobs, or they have their own business and they're managing those things and scaling them up. And we deserve success and we can have huge impact and we can contribute to the world. However, if we're spending all day trying to sort out our food, we're just never going to have the time to do so. So there's online shopping, online grocery ordering, there is meal prep companies, there is chefs doing certain things, in-house chefs. It's crazy out there for what we can actually do with food for saving time. Let me put this into perspective for you. I basically calculated all the hours I would spend cooking and cleaning food if what I do, like keep doing what I'm doing on essentially a normal day. And my old routine would usually be like this. Because I have the luxury of working from home, I love cooking food fresh. I'm a foodie. I love fresh food. So I can cook my meal fresh and then eat it and then clean. I'm eating 4 times a day. Roughly, that is 4 to 5 hours per day of eating, cooking, and cleaning. We times that over a week. That's roughly, 30 to 35 hours that I am spending cooking, cleaning, and eating a week, right? Which is insane. We cut that down in half. If I do food prep for 2 hours, let's say on a Wednesday and a Sunday, I cook all my meat, and every single morning I prepare all my carbs and vegetables, because that's how I eat, in the morning, and I spend half an hour just cooking all of those, and then I spend a little bit of time cleaning. Just doing that roughly is going to halven or more my hours spent on cooking. So now I've just gotten back 15 to almost 20 hours per week that I would usually spend on food, just by getting outside of or upgrading my cooking comfort zone, so I know how to meal prep and do, and organize my food and make sure that I'm eating on time so that I'm actually saving time, is crazy. So my habit here is to challenge you to get in a really good food routine. When you shop, how you cook, upgrade your cooking comfort zone, or actually seek out and spend some time looking at meal prep companies. Me and my partner have been looking recently. There is like organic fruit and vegetable boxes that you can order for like $60 to $80 a week. All your fruit and veggies just straight to your house. And when you think about that and not buying all the extra stuff and going to the shops, it's like going to save you some cash as well, which I think is a really smart idea. So I challenge you to think about that. That's the next habit. Establish a really good food routine and how you actually prep food, because believe it or not, it is always costing us money until we get on top of it. And it's not just money, it's time and opportunity. 5 is hydration. What they have recommended for people to hydrate, I believe, is a little bit low. And hear me out why. Specifically, they've said 30 to 35 mils is what an adult needs per body weight in order to hydrate. So for me, at around 85 kilos, it's like 3 point something liters, just around about that. Now hear me out. When you study dehydration and you look at what dehydrates you, essentially anything that dehydrates you, you have to increase it by a liter. If you gym or train really hard, or just train at all in general, you have to up your water by 1 liter. If it is hot or really cold, you're exposed to really hot or cold temperatures, that's up your literage by another liter. So I figured out with my literage how much I need to actually hydrate a day. It's roughly around 5 liters, and that's including the weather, that's including aircon, that's including going to the gym. So our whole perception, if we train, if we're just not being extremely normal, which is not exercising, going to work, coming back, maybe going for a brisk walk or something like that, that's increasing our literage by 1 a day if you work in an office under the fan, and that's about it. So that's roughly, for some people, 3 to 4-ish liters. So we actually have to increase how much liters that we need to drink during the day just to remain hydrated in the modern world with the modern routine. The last habit in here, which I believe is one of like the most important habits that we can do in the modern world, because I believe that if you think about us, since we've been gone to kindergarten at a young age, we've gone to school, and this is so relevant for especially people from their 20s to their 35s. We've gone to the age of 35. We've gone to school, and then we've had teachers to help us. We've had teachers help us in kindergarten. Then we go to university, and we have teachers, or we learn a trade, and we have teachers in the trade. And then we start our business, and we get accountants that teach us, but then we don't seek out any coaching or any help from anyone else in a authoritative position to help us move forward. Now, what has these teachers given to us through our entire life? And that is consistent feedback all the time. But then we've brought up that we can do anything, we can actually achieve and do anything, but like, why isn't it actually happening to us? And that is because we have all the tools. I believe we are quite brilliant. However, we need feedback all the time for us to feel like we're going somewhere and the direction is right. We've been brought up to essentially not think by ourselves, which is why there are so many coaches out there, which is why so many coaches are actually needed, is finding an authentic coach that I believe is the hard thing. So if you think about the best of the best people in the world who run successful companies, have healthy relationships, they've got a coach for their relationship, they've got a coach for business, they've got a coach for their mindset, they've got a coach for finance, they've got a coach for health and fitness, they've got a coach for everything. So they're consistently getting feedback from all different areas. And the good CEOs know this is really important as well, because they've got different areas in their teams and in their business. When it's like a finance section, there's like an operations section, there's a marketing section, there is a media section, whatever it is. They've got these different sections, but they're getting feedback from these people all the time so they can actually make decisions. And my main thing here for this habit is to take responsibility for your own feedback. If we don't actively go seek it out after we finish school, uni, our trades, whatever it is, then we're never going to get it. And we get stuck in those moments where we feel lost and we feel blind, and we're not going to progress as best as we could in the areas that we want to, especially as quickly as we can. And I know we all have this mad fear of, I want to have some impact or actually live a life that's worth living and have some meaning before I die. And we will die with regret unless we really understand how powerful this is and get some feedback and achieve the things that we know we can actually achieve. So that's it, guys. If you like this video, if you like these 6 habits, please hit that subscribe button, chuck a comment below, and I'll get back to you. I have a podcast called the Corey Boutwell Podcast. You can find that anywhere by searching it. My Instagram is Corey Boutwell, and you can head to my website, getstartedwithcorey with an E.com, so Corey. And if you got anything out of this and you thought it was really handy, please share it with someone. We don't do any marketing on these YouTube videos. It's all just sort of organic. And if you got any benefit out of it, please share it with someone, especially if you know someone out there needs some of these habits ingrained, or even yourself. Please save it to watch later, just to give yourself a reminder of what that's got to be. And if you do want daily tips on this, we're putting them out my Instagram every single day. Chuck us a follow there. So big love. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.